JLR investigates home raid. I'm about to show you a clip of authorities raiding the home of Colt Gray and his dad, Colin Gray. I'm going to share this clip with you. Check it out. So that was Harrison Mill Road. It's about 7 miles away from Apalachee High School in Widner, Georgia. And authorities, right after this terrible mass shooting occurred, swooped in there, ATF, police, FBI, and they conducted a warrant and search on that property. Colt right here, 14 years old, arrested in connection with this terrible mass shooting. 4 people killed, 9 people injured. Panic and chaos. I've never seen a law enforcement response like that in a long, long time. The governor was at the scene. The lieutenant governor spoke. It's a tragic situation. But what did they get inside that home? What occurred inside that home when authorities were there? Well, apparently they got a gun. And there's a couple media reports right here that I want to share with you on what transpired there, what they got, maybe didn't got, and a neighbor also speaks. Look at this right here.
The suspect, he is in Barrow County. He's in a detention center. And authorities say he will be charged with murder as an adult.
A few hours ago, we were getting some more information on the possible suspect. Police stormed what's believed to be his family's home to search for possible evidence. And Atlanta News First, Patrick Quinn continues our team coverage now live in the small town of Bethlehem, which is 9 miles south of where we are here in Widner.
And Patrick, we've learned the FBI, they visited the young suspect's home just last year.
Sean, that's right. There may have been signs ahead of this shooting. The FBI tonight, they are announcing that they, in fact, investigated Colt Gray just a year ago, May 2023, tied to online posts that he could shoot up a school. They investigated it, they interviewed him, but they said at the time they did not have probable cause, though they alerted local schools to keep monitoring Colt Gray, and that was in Jackson County. Here we are in Barrow County. This is not a threat. What happened today, very real. 4 people shot and killed Colt Gray. He was arrested at the school, and then law enforcement officials, they swarmed this house.
I know 50 cars plus, just coming fast, jumping out of cars, full armor, guns in hand, surrounding the house.
Christine Ridings watched from across the street as swarms of law enforcement officials surrounded this small home in the town of Bethlehem, Georgia, believed to be the family home of 14-year-old Colt Gray, set to be charged with shooting and killing 4 people at Apalachee High School. Christine, in fact, believes she saw Colt getting on the bus to go to school earlier.
And he was in blue jeans, like baggy blue jeans, a black hoodie jacket zipped up with the hood up on, and a backpack.
Christine said that description matched the description of Colt seen in pictures from her 14-year-old grandson who has friends at Apalachee High School. At school, Lila Sarith said she was sitting next to Colt when he got up and left math class, only to try and get back in moments later.
And that's when, through the window, I saw him kind of, realize that he's not going to get in this classroom, so he kind of turned to the one that was next to us, and then turn to the right, and you just hear shots.
Lila said she heard 15 gunshots before the echoes faded. Colt was arrested, and officials say he'll be charged with murder as an adult. But this is not the first time Colt Gray has been linked to a school shooting threat. Within the last few hours, the FBI posted this statement saying Gray, 13 years old at the time, made online threats a year ago. Colt denied the threats at the time, but was interviewed. The FBI saying, quote, the father stated he had hunting guns in the house, but the subject, Colt, did not have unsupervised access to them. Officials said Colt used an assault rifle platform-style weapon in the shooting on Wednesday. Back in Bethlehem, Christine, shocked. A day of horror may have started right next door.
And then to have this unfold across the street, and my grandson's emotionally involved, is terrifying and very sad.
And her grandson, 14 years old as well. She says she's nervous. She doesn't know what she's going to do come Monday when school resumes. Now, Christine told us that ATF and law enforcement agencies, they got here on site at roughly 11:30 today. They didn't leave, we saw, until roughly 8:30, so they were here on site more than 8 hours investigating. We did reach out to these agencies to try and learn more about their investigation. We have not heard back tonight. Live tonight from Bethlehem, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
Whoa, they were there for like 8 hours, folks. And what did they get? What did they get? What did they get out of this police raid, home raid? I'm going to share some photos of this crime. We'll call it a crime scene, right? Because, you know, I think the father's going to be charged here. How could these weapons just be out there for this individual to get? Or did the Colt get the weapons somewhere else? Another relative, another family member, but I'm suspecting it probably comes from the dad. But let's show you let me show you the scene there all day right after the shooting occurred. You heard they went there about 11:30ish, right? So the shooting happened 9:30, so 2 hours, and they were already there. What did they uncover there? What did they get? And will anything that they found, whether it's digital footprints, computers, phones, guns, will any of that evidence be used against the father? It will most likely be used against the shooter. I'm curious about the father being charged, and I think we're going to see charges come in the near future on that. Now, there's another media report. They were there too. So it seems like a few media outlets were there on boots on the ground at this family home. Apparently, he lived there with maybe some siblings. He had 2 younger siblings with his mom, but it doesn't appear like his mom's name's Marcee, by the way. It doesn't appear Marcee was there. She's having her own legal issues. But there could be other siblings there. Scary. You know, that children, because this guy, the shooter's 14 years old and his siblings are younger, had access to guns, it seems like. Check this report out right here.
The shooter, Colt Gray.
Well, Fox News' Denise Dillon is live outside that Widner home tonight. Denise, police were there well into the evening.
They certainly were. We've seen the GBI, the ATF, other law enforcement agencies going in and out of this home throughout the evening, searching for anything that could tell them more about the shooting and what may have led up to it. They're looking for guns, weapons, likely going through computers, cell phones, especially looking at Colt Gray's social media accounts. Now, we have found out more about Gray from the FBI, who says that in May of 2023, the FBI received several anonymous tips about online threats, which included photos of guns, of a school shooting at an unidentified location and time. The FBI determined that these threats originated in Georgia. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office launched an investigation which led them to Colt Gray, who was 13 at the time. Remember, this was last year. Now, they determined that there was no probable cause for an arrest at that time. One of the neighbors told me the family has lived in this home just across the Widner line in the town of Bethlehem for about 2 years. She said sometime after 11 this morning, right after learning the schools were on lockdown, she saw a massive police presence.
The police presence and the SWAT, they were flying down the road. I know 50 cars plus, just coming fast, jumping out of cars, full armor, guns in hand, surrounding the house. I was in shock. I'm like, there's just no way. I just couldn't wrap my head around it, that this is really what's been going on in the news, is actually the guys across the street, or lived across the street. So, yeah, I mean, it's hit us hard emotionally, especially my grandsons. They have a lot of friends at Apalachee. And I don't know, my heart just goes out to everybody.
And Christine Ridings told me that she would occasionally see the dad and 2 younger children at the house, but she never even knew a teen boy lived here. That is, until this morning, when she saw him get on the bus right here for the very first time. Reporting live in Barrow County, Denise Stillen, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, still some unanswered questions.
A lot of unanswered questions. What do you mean the neighbor has never saw him prior and saw him in the other clip, blue jeans, hoodie, backpack? Did the gun go in the backpack? Did he bring the gun with him that day, or was the gun already at the school? What about those other kids? Do you think those other kids that are in the house should be taken out of the house, considering the dad looks like, and this is speculation, but it's also common sense. It looks like that the gun came from the dad's house. Should the kids be taken away by the state in the meantime while authorities investigate? That's another story too. I don't know. But we are covering this case extensively on JLR Investigates. Police raid. Are they going to raid anywhere else? Looks like he is the sole shooter here, but I have a feeling there's going to be another defendant, and that will be his father. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, like, hit the notification button. Praying for all the victims out there, first responders, teachers, faculty, students, everyone that was affected. On JLR Investigates, our hearts and thoughts and prayers are out for you. And we'll see what happens with this case. We'll see if he gets prosecuted and sent to prison for the rest of his life, or numbers because he's a juvenile, or what his attorneys will do to try to mitigate this situation. But accountability time, and we will cover it on JLR Investigates. We'll talk soon. Stay tuned.